What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little different. We're going to go ahead and do a little fish store review or fish store tour with one of my buddies over in San Francisco. His plan today is to pick up a fish. I think he's trying to get a biker or something, but we're going to go ahead and check it out and hopefully bring you guys along for the ride. If they allow me to record inside, I'll go ahead and do that, but I'll go ahead and keep the camera on me. Should be pretty sick. If this is your first time here, my name is Brian and I make all kinds of freshwater fish keeping videos. In this channel, I'll cover things like DIY projects related to the aquarium hobby, along with giving you guys updates on all of my fish. So if you like what you're checking out, stay tuned and hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate your support. So the fish store that we're going to is called 6th Ave over in San Francisco. This is the place where I got my climbing perch, the fish that's with all my bikers right now. They carry a little bit of unique fish and whatnot, so it's pretty cool to check that spot out every once in a while. It's a standard fish store. It's 2 levels. The top is pretty compact and the bottom is pretty compact as well. It's a nice fish store to go visit if you want to go find some unique fish. This is my girlfriend. This is my girlfriend.
Oh, that was a video. I mean, a photo.
It is.
Okay. When is it gonna take?
It's a video. So what's the plan for today?
We're gonna buy some guppies.
Guppies?
Yeah.
No, what's your real plan?
Guppies, bro.
Guppies? I told everyone that you're gonna get a biker.
Guppy tank.
The most bumpiest car ever.
Hey, we made it though.
We made it. We f***ing made it. Are you ready, bro?
Yeah.
Are you f***ing ready? We can do this! So as you can tell from the first couple of seconds walking into this store, they were playing copyright music, so I can't even use any of the audio that we recorded from the footage. So it's going to be more of like a talk over type of video. If you're in the San Francisco area and you like kerosins, you like arowanas, you like bikers, you like cichlids, saltwater fish, koi, anything, I would suggest you guys to come and stop by 6th Ave Aquarium over in San Francisco. Reason being is because they literally have everything in this store and it's pretty much unpredictable on what you can find, like freshwater clams, all kinds of crazy saltwater fish, nice ranchus, nice koi, and most importantly we found nice freshwater predatory fish, which is what we came here for. The reason why I brought him here is because the last time I came here I saw all kinds of crazy things, and this is actually where I got my Giardini and climbing perch. But the thing you'll start to notice about the store is they house a lot of fish in one system. So if you were to purchase any of these fish, I highly suggest you quarantine these fish, because you know there's a whole bunch of fish in one tank. It just takes one fish to be sick to infect the others. But the good thing about this store is although they house a whole bunch of fish in one specific system, all the fish look really healthy, but at the same time, even though they look healthy, you don't know what's underneath, so make sure you quarantine any new fish you get anywhere you get them. As you can see here, there's a whole bunch of guppies and they're next to a molly tank. You can see each tank is divided with a divider, and when they add new fish in, you never know what they're gonna have, so if one side has it, then all the other fish will have it too. As you see here, there's a whole bunch of red-tailed cats and a Giardini right here. So literally they have all kinds of different fish, all just all divided up in one system, which is the crazy part. So again, if you decide to get a fish from here, I do highly suggest you quarantine your fish. But nevertheless, the fish looked healthy to me, so that was good. So here's the flower horn section, this being one of the first ones that we saw that day. And as you can see, the crazy part is on the left of that flower horn, there's a whole bunch of pea puffers there. As you can see, this is a whole nother side of the flower horns. I think these are the blue tie silks on the top and then baby flower horns towards the bottom. This rack is flower horns and cichlids and whatnot. And we also found a collector's item discus that was kind of locked up on the right side. So you can see here is a whole bunch of Oscars just kind of like congregating in the corner, which is pretty nuts. Here's another flower horn. This is one of the ones that he was just about to pick up. It wasn't too bad of a price. It was about $130. It was very active. And it was probably the best flower horn that was there. As you can see, my friend just poked his finger up on there and then It just reacted immediately, while the other ones were kind of, they were active, but they weren't as active as this one right here. We were so close to picking this one up. Honestly, if I had a tank that set this up, I would definitely have picked this one up right here. We literally came back to this flower horn right here at least about 3 or 4 times throughout this video. And here you can see more of the exotics, right? You got the Arapaimas, you got the African tigerfish, which is crazy. In our area, an Arapaima for about $100 is really good. I've seen them go for around $250. I never really pulled the trigger on these because they get huge. It's not really worth it for me. They also have a Tig cat in the back. And see here, there's a ATF right here. This thing is a Goliath ATF, and that's the crazy part. See, on the left of it is figure 8 puffers, and then on the right is an African tigerfish, which is nuts. They literally have everything in the store. Oh, and here's when I noticed the Pyra up top. So here it is again, the Arapaima. We were speechless about how cheap this fish was, how active it is, and can't believe it's only $100. Honestly, if I had a huge pond or any kind of large enclosure that I can keep an Arapaima in, I would definitely try it because, man, Arapaimas are super sick. And this one was really active, and it was only $100, which is crazy. The ATF was more expensive. I think the ATF was about $150. Here's a centipede molted knife, which is pretty crazy. This is the type of fish that you don't really see at local fish stores. It looked really rare, and I've never seen one in person at all, so that's what I'm saying. And it's only $20, which is crazy. Here's another fish that's kind of hard to find. It's a freshwater puffer. That's not a fahaka or an MBU. It's I think it's an Arrowhead Puffer or whatever, but it's rare and unique, and that's the crazy part. This aquarium literally has random nice fish. As you can see here, this is a tank that's towards the bottom, and I got really surprised because I found an African lungfish for about $60, $50 or something, which is pretty crazy because I've seen people sell African lungfish for about $120, $150 in the area. They had an albino knife in here, and on the top right corner of that aquarium, you'll see a pipe kerosene that I used to have, which brought back a lot of memories. I probably wouldn't pick one up again, but it was nice seeing a good sized pipe kerosene. Here's a rack that's just filled with different types of cories. I think they had like designer cories. Literally any kind of corridors you can think of, they had it in this rack. And the prices wasn't bad either. They had the Julie cories, they had the green emerald cories, panda cories, pepper cories, all kinds of cories. And then on the other side of the corridors, they had a pleco rack. They literally had any kind of pleco that you can find. They did have a good selection of plecos. They had gold nuggets, green phantoms, and all that. And here's what I'm pointing out: a gold nugget pleco only goes for $40. When I saw them in person in other fish stores and whatnot, they were being sold for about $60 to $70. So this store is pretty affordable when it comes to purchasing fish. And here we're walking upstairs, and there's way more. As you can see, you're greeted with one tank, and then down the whole hall that stretches all the way across to the front of the aquarium, there's just little racks that run all the way across, which is crazy. Upstairs does feel kind of cramped, and as you're walking down the steps, it does feel like it's about to collapse, but I've been up there about like 2 times already, and it seems fine to me. Here I'm just kind of pointing out that it looks like the tank is kind of slanted, but hey, I mean, if it's been there for a while, then I guess it's okay. Here you can see discus. They were being sold for about like $50 each, which is crazy. They had snake skins, pigeon bloods, and all that. And then here we found a climbing perch. This is exactly the same system I found my climbing perch at, but it wasn't $13. I think it was like $5. I purchased my climbing perch about that size as well, which was nuts. Literally had it in the same tank. This is another unique fish. This is a target fish. I think this is brackish, but obviously they're keeping it in a full freshwater because they're all running in the same system. So I'm not too sure how healthy this one is, but obviously it's pretty active, so it looks healthy to me. This is a very unique fish. I honestly haven't seen one before, so I was pretty shocked when I saw it. And then here's another rare fish, or kind of unique fish. It's called the African Pom-Pom knife. I think it's also called the reticulated knife. It has the face of an arowana, which is pretty cool. This is the only fish that was in there that was swimming kind of funny. I've been looking for this fish. I just don't have room to quarantine, and I don't have a tank that's big enough to support this guy right here. But all in all, cool fish. And then here we spot a golden Dorado, or a Dorado that's in one of the bigger tanks upstairs. There's like pacu in the tank, there's feeders, there's catfish. And yeah, this is one of the nice predator fish that they had there. And here we actually come back to the flower horn. This is like the 3rd or 4th time we came back. He's still messing with the same flower horn, but we ultimately don't pick this guy up. He wanted like a freshwater kerosene type of predator and not like a cichlid. So we went ahead and left this guy alone. But we were really close to getting this guy right here. I'm surprised no one picked him up. So after not picking out a flowerhorn, we went ahead and looked into this tank right here. As you can see in the middle, there's a baby datnoid in there. We were really close to picking this one up, but ultimately decided to choose something else. But this datnoid was pretty nice, and also that Giardini on the left was perfect. So after all the exploring and whatnot, these are the 3 fish that he ended up picking up. He ended up picking up a Pyra scum, red tongue sleeve biker or something, the one on the right side, the upper jaw biker that's fairly nice, and the red tail barracuda, which is on the left. The biker he got for about 30 bucks. Pyra he got for about 40, and I think the barracuda was about 30 bucks. As we're picking out these 3 fish, we're pretty much trying to size them up, make sure that they're all equally about the same size so one doesn't eat the other, and we're hoping that the 3 of them will coexist in the same tank with no issues at all. So in this clip right here, the owner decided to feed his 2 silver arowanas a dead feeder fish. While we're recording this and whatnot, waiting for the arowana to attack this fish, we noticed a biker towards the bottom of the tank. I saw its back spines and whatnot and immediately knew that it was either a PBL or a PBB. It looked like a PBL, but we ended up deciding to move the rocks and whatnot and see what exactly it is, and the fins were really nice. I was really considering about picking this one up, but again, I didn't have a quarantine system. I didn't want to risk any of my fish and my existing bikers, so ultimately decided not to pick this guy up. Plus, all my bikers are living together perfectly and no one's fighting, and they've already established dominance, so decided against adding another biker in, and I'm just gonna leave my bikers how they are right now. The cool thing about this fish store right here is it's like a self-serving type of fish store. So you grab your own nets, you grab your own containers, and you grab your own fish. Quick tip is when you grab your fish, make sure you grab enough water for you to kind of have them bagged up. We actually had to go back about once or twice because we didn't grab enough water for the bags, and the owner wanted to separate the fish so they weren't in one single bag, which is nice, but just make sure you're really careful and don't drop your fish. Seriously, because you can literally drop your fish into another tank, and I can already see irresponsible fish keepers just leaving that fish in that aquarium and just kind of walking away. Right here is the Matamata Turtle. This pretty much backs up what I said about this store. Literally, you can find all kinds of random cool stuff, which is pretty sick. I haven't seen a Matamata Turtle outside of the store right here, so it was pretty nice and refreshing to see different types of rare and unique animals besides fish in the store. So now that we're out of the fish store, I'm gonna go ahead and cut back to the audio that I picked up that day. Nice red biker, Pyra
guppy,
biker guppy.
biker guppy, and
What was the third one again? Barracuda guppy. Sick. And hella worms.
for the guppies.
For the guppies.
For the guppies.
All right, if you can sum up that store in a couple words, how would you sum it up?
Mind blown. Overwhelming.
It's sick, right?
That's overwhelming. There's a lot of there.
It's like you don't know what's in the little nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you really gotta look.
Yeah. And then like obviously help people go there too. We ran to the dude that I bought my dad off.
The prices are pretty good.
Prices are hella good.
It's crazy.
It's like discount.
Yeah. And the fish look pretty healthy.
I mean, I was still QT them though.
Yeah. Oh. Is it native? Nah, it's hella hard stuff. They're both the same, right?
Yeah.
Let me turn all the lights on.
Dang. I'm glad you're using this tank. Damn. You got any last words, bro, before you end?
It's a good ride, man.
It's good.
Some good stuff.
Yeah, it looks pretty. I hella like it.
Yeah.
It's actually fucking sick.
Because I didn't even know what I was going to do with it, to be honest. What does that mean?
She just doesn't know you.
I don't speak fish.
Come on, Lena.
I don't speak. You want to try a vlog here, son? Yo, shut your motherfucking ass up, dog.
Should we do this one first?
Pyra first.
Water got in here.
Damn. That's nice.
It looks hella big in here compared to.
It looks
the
hella.
little tank.
Dude, nah. Look how small it is in this tank, though. It's a good grow out.
Is that how they swim?
When they're slanted, that means they're gonna hunt. Nice,
Ooh,
dude.
damn,
that looks sick.
Oh, that looks sick. That is nice.
Dude, that looks nice, dude.
Holy shit.
Is it red?
It looks red, yeah. It looks like reddish brown. It looks tight.
I would. What if?
Too much fluff?
No, like this barracuda. Like maybe put him with that.
Why? You think it'll attack that shit?
It's pretty big, right? Like I don't know. Try it. Lift up. Wow. Sick. Dude, that is sick.
That looks crazy. That looks so big in here.
Dude. He's huge. He's huge.
Yeah, he's pretty big.
Sick. Sick, dude.
I just heard you say sick like 5 times.
Dude, it's sick. Alright, so that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next one. And peace, guys.